Get ready for the biggest celebration of the year because President Donald Trump is hosting a massive Ultimate Fighting Championship event right on the White House lawn for his 80th birthday and Flag Day. This is the UFC Freedom 250, scheduled for June 14, 2026, and it's going to be an unprecedented event featuring some of the biggest names in the sport. We're talking about a massive spectacle with 4 elite fighters joining the president, and the public is invited to this free show. You do not want to miss the details of how this historic event will unfold.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
But the action doesn't stop there. We turn our attention to the world of MMA as UFC Hall of Famer Matt Hughes reveals a shocking injury. The former UFC welterweight champion shared a gruesome photo on Instagram showing that he has had his middle finger amputated. While the injury is serious, Hughes is showing incredible toughness, telling us he has 9 more to work with. We dive into the details of this dramatic revelation and what it means for this legendary fighter's future. Next up, we look at the incredible atmosphere as UFC stars visit the Oval Office to thank President Trump for transforming the sport with this historic White House fight. We see Topuria, Justin Gaethje, Alex Pereira, and Gane meeting the commander-in-chief to preview the fight card. Trump himself highlighted the incredible grit of these fighters and the historic nature of staging a major UFC event on the White House grounds for the 250th anniversary celebration. And finally, we break down the action for UFC 328 this weekend, featuring the main event Gaethje versus Sean Strickland for the middleweight title. We analyze the betting props, the intense matchup dynamics, and the predictions for this stacked card. Don't miss our full breakdown of Gaethje versus Sean Strickland and all the other massive fights happening this weekend. Stay with us. President Donald Trump is set to host a unique celebration for his upcoming 80th birthday, combining a live Ultimate Fighting Championship event with the observance of Flag Day. The event, titled UFC Freedom 250, is scheduled for June 14, 2026, coinciding with Flag Day. The event will take place on the White House lawn. Trump will be joined by 4 prominent fighters: Alex Pereira, Gane, Justin Gaethje, and Topuria, whom he described as the greatest fighters in the world. Justin Gaethje expressed his honor in participating, praising Trump's early support for the UFC, stating that without Trump's backing, the organization would be 10 years behind in its mainstream success during the early 1990s. During a briefing, the president revealed renderings of the planned octagon setup on the South Lawn and announced that the event will be free to the public, with seating available for approximately 4,000 attendees surrounding the fighting area. Trump framed the event as a celebration of American culture and a significant entertainment milestone. This proposal marks an unprecedented move, as it would be the first time a UFC fight is staged on White House grounds. Furthermore, Trump is linking the timing to the nation's semi-quincentennial celebration, as the event marks the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Ultimate Fighting Championship Hall of Famer Matt Hughes has shared a dramatic and gruesome update regarding his health, revealing that he has had a finger amputated. In a post shared on Instagram from a hospital bed, Hughes displayed a photo showing the amputation of his right hand's middle finger. Despite the severity of the injury, the former UFC welterweight champion appeared to remain in good spirits. In his caption, Hughes commented, "Luckily, God's been real good to me. He left me 9 more to work with." Hughes has not provided any details regarding the cause of the injury or the specifics of the surgery. At 52, Hughes remains a highly decorated figure in UFC history, known for his dominant wrestling style, relentless pressure, and notable rivalries with figures like Georges St. Pierre and BJ Penn before his retirement in 2013. Hughes has also navigated significant personal challenges outside of combat sports, having survived a near-fatal train accident in 2017 that resulted in a traumatic brain injury and a lengthy recovery. He has since gradually re-emerged in the public eye. While specifics on the recent injury remain undisclosed, Hughes's social media message suggests he is facing the adversity with characteristic toughness and humor. UFC stars convened in the Oval Office to preview an upcoming, highly anticipated fight event scheduled to coincide with America's 250th birthday. President Donald Trump welcomed top UFC fighters, including Ilia Topuria, Justin Gaethje, Alex Pereira, and Gane, to discuss plans to transform the South Lawn into a premier fight venue for a June 14 event. Trump declared the planned spectacle, featuring 4 champions, to be the greatest show on earth. The fight card is expected to feature a lightweight clash between reigning champion Ilia Topuria and interim title holder Justin Gaethje, alongside a heavyweight bout between Alex Pereira and Gane. Trump lauded the fighters' tenacity, specifically commending Alex Pereira's knockout power and noting Topuria's resilience. During the meeting, the fighters expressed deep gratitude for the invitation. Topuria thanked the president for the opportunity, while Gaethje highlighted Trump's historical role in bringing the UFC to the mainstream in the early 1990s. Gaethje praised the president's willingness to challenge norms, stating it was a key factor in his support. The visit underscored a unique convergence of sports spectacle and high-level political acknowledgement. UFC 328 is set to deliver a stacked card this weekend, featuring 2 title fights and several high-profile matchups. The event will take place on Saturday, May 9, 2026, at the Prudential Center in Newark, NJ, and will be streamed live online via Paramount+. The main event pits Khamzat Chimaev against Sean Strickland for the UFC middleweight title. Chimaev is riding an undefeated record, while Strickland is aiming for a second championship. The matchup has generated significant chatter, though observers suggest much of the talk may be hype. Chimaev's history includes decisive wins, such as his decision victory over Dricus du Plessis and a knockout over Robert Whittaker. The co-main event features Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Terra for the UFC flyweight title. Van needs a victory to solidify his status as champion, facing the grappling specialist Terra. Other notable bouts on the main card include Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Cortsacosta, Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley, and King Green versus Jeremy Stevens. The prelims are also promising, featuring matchups like 8 Gaudier versus Ozzy Diaz, Joel Alvarez versus Yaroslav Amosov, and Grant Dawson versus Mateusz Rebecki, alongside an appearance from Jim Miller fighting Jared Gordon. Analysis of the main event suggests a potential clash of styles. Chimaev's wrestling prowess is described as smothering, raising questions about whether he will favor position over submission. While some speculate about intense conflict, the assessment leans toward Chimaev potentially capitalizing on his strengths, similar to his past victories. In the flyweight bout, Van faces a significant challenge from Terra's grappling. Van's takedown defense has been questioned, with reports suggesting he has been taken down early in previous contests. The round total for this fight is set at 3.5 rounds. Other key storylines include the performances of Alexander Volkov, who is viewed as a victim of a controversial decision in a previous bout, and Waldo Cortsacosta, who has demonstrated a strong run in the heavyweight division. Sean Brady is favored in his bout against Joaquin Buckley due to Buckley's perceived weaknesses in takedown defense. In the preliminary card, the fight between Grant Dawson and Mateusz Rebecki is anticipated to be a physical battle, with Dawson possessing a size and reach advantage over Rebecki, who relies heavily on wrestling. Jim Miller, entering his 47th UFC contest, is slated to face Jared Gordon. The assessment suggests a close contest where Gordon's striking and Miller's grappling could lead to a split decision, with the possibility of Miller securing a win by controlling the fight on the ground. Overall, UFC 328 promises a high-stakes event with compelling narratives across its title fights and competitive prelims.